Alright guys, so for this chapter we're going to be covering materials and mirroring. So for starters, let's press the hotkey A to bring up the appearance menu. And this is where all the materials for the scene are stored. So let's just grab a paint, and let's grab a glossy yellow material. And to apply it, just drag and drop it on the body you want to use it on. And let's grab a red paint, and let's just drop it on the trigger so you guys can see this again. And notice they're stored here at the top, so you can just drag and drop from here. And this is where all of your materials that you've used on your model are placed. And it's like a shortcut, so you don't have to go and find them separately over and over. So let's grab a black paint and let's drop it down here. And let's grab a gray and bring it up here to apply it to this body. Now let's go back to the black paint and drop it for these grooves up front. And also for the rear as well. Now I know what you guys are thinking. What if I just want to apply it to a specific face? So after we drag and drop this material here on the grip, I'm going to zoom in really quick so you guys can see how to apply it to a specific area. So first things first, let's switch from bodies and components to faces. Now we can just drag and drop to a specific face to apply it. And this is just that simple, guys. Any other application, you would have to connect nodes and go a lot further in detail to apply material. Here you can literally just drag and drop. So let's switch back to bodies and components, and let's drag this black material here. And let's switch to faces, and we're going to grab this red paint and place it here. And this is you learn to appreciate this coming from a animation background and video game development. So you can literally drag and drop to conceptualize your designs. Now let's switch the UI from design to render. And we're going to work on applying a decal to a specific area on the body. So selecting that icon, we can go to insert from computer and we can just choose a decal we want to apply. And next we're going to choose the surface we want to apply the detail to, or the decal to, I'm sorry. So let's turn that canvas on. And it just undid my decal, so I have to redo that. So let's change the camera from perspective to orthographic, and let's click this surface. And just like setting up your reference image, you can use these widgets to position or scale your decal. Now we can hit OK, and let's navigate back to the design UI. So what I'd like to do is create that manufactured seam that runs through the middle of toys. So to do that, first I'm going to fillet these edges. So let's hit F and let's just fillet all these edges. And this is going to help in the long run, guys. And it doesn't have to be a big fillet. We can just do something like 0.009. That's just something small but effective. And once satisfied, let's just hit OK. We can now start to split these bodies in half now. So let's go up to the modify drop down and select split body. And first we'll select this frame. Now let's select this body and also the grip. And for the splitting tool, let's just rotate around. And we're going to use this 2D plane here. So to select it, just left click and hold to select through the body, and we're going to select YZ. Now we're going to hit OK. Now we divided everything in half. Now we have double the bodies. So let's just remove this side of the bodies that we don't want. And remember, go to remove, don't hit delete. Now we're going to mirror this geometry over. So let's go to create mirror, and let's select the bodies we just split. And we're going to go to mirror plane, and we're going to select that same plane. So we're going to left click and hold to select YZ. And now let's hit OK. So naturally, your next response would be just to combine these together. But the whole reason we separated these is so we can get that seam in the middle. Now we're going to create a pipe that runs through this seam. To do that, we're going to hit the create drop down and select pipe. If I can find it, there it is. Now we're going to select this line here. And now we're going to just drag this out. And naturally you would want to go to cut, but it's going to cut through the geometry you don't want. So let's change this to new body and select OK. Now we can combine this. Just kidding. Let's rotate around the back side and let's create a pipe that runs through that area as well. Now let's just go to create pipe and let's select this seam. And since they're not connected, we have to do this multiple times. In this case, we can hit cut because there's no intersecting geometry. Now let's combine these two halves together. Let's hit join. Now we can combine the pipe to get that cut. And let's set the operation from join to cut, hit OK. And now we have our seam, guys. And it's these little details that make a big difference when it comes to product design. So let's hit combine and let's combine these two bodies together. And let's set the operation from cut to join to make a single body. And also, guys, I want to mention that once we mirrored that geometry, it took away that decal we placed earlier. So I'm going to redo that, and I'm just going to time lapse it so you guys don't have to watch me do that again. All right, welcome back, guys. So the only parts we really have left now are the little touch-ups. So let's just create a pipe down here on this foregrip here, or pistol grip, I'm sorry. So let's create pipe, and let's select this center line, and let's set it to cut. Now let's combine these two halves of the grip together. All right, so that pretty much wraps up this this tutorial. We did pretty good. So the next video we'll be working on the asymmetry.